Happy Sunday, everybody. It is hashtag Showcase Sunday. And this week's Showcase Sunday is coming from the amazing John Wilkinson. Now, John is a purchasing consultant and he's here to help you save time, money, and energy. So over to you, John. Can you tell us a bit of an introduction of yourself, who you are, what you do, and why you do it?
Right,
Welcome.
certainly. Morning to everybody. I've been in 40 years in purchasing, working for blue chip companies from manufacturing. I worked at Vickers Shipbuilding, which is now BA Systems, car dealerships. Predominantly, it was mostly on the indirect side, so that's gas, electricity, right down to a paperclip. So if you walk into a business through the front door, I look after all the indirect side of that. I've enjoyed all 40 years of my experience in purchasing. I fell into it by mistake. Was working for a company in Barrow Furness and decided to be a account office manager. I was there 5 minutes and they said, "What do you know about buying?" And I thought, I haven't a clue. Next minute, I'm running Camille Simon, three factories in Barrow. So 24/7, 10 ton an hour for 5 years, no downtime at all. As I say, every single day is completely different. I love it. I'm always there, hands on, and I love dealing with suppliers and clients. That is me in the short sentence or
That's
sentences.
amazing. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, no, amazing. And it is interesting. A lot of people fall into the roles of what they're doing now, but you love it, don't you? You really
I do.
enjoy
Yes,
procurement and everything that's in purchasing.
yes,
Brilliant. And what's unique and different? Because you see all sorts of purchasing organizations. You see like collaboration of small businesses taking on a purchasing, I guess, big organization. What is unique and different to you, John? What is unique and different to you?
I found that these companies that I can't name them, but they are big companies. They are franchises where an inexperienced or not qualified purchasing professional pays a fee, is being given an area to cover. Uh, he doesn't really know who else is covering the area, but they do double cover. Um, they make you savings, but then they walk away from it. So they put the deal in place. There's no end person to call to say, I've got a problem with this supplier. Um, there's some legal side. Can you sort out? I can sort out terms and conditions, so you don't have the pitfalls of being sued or let down. I have great suppliers I've gained over the years. So it's a case of slotting them in if you need a new supplier, or those suppliers will I can benchmark your suppliers and then negotiate with your suppliers to match my suppliers, and then you get the best deal. But I believe in pulling everything together, of purchasing power, where a small individual person, say running a guest house, will be put into the same basket as a company or client that's turning over £1 million. You will get the same price. I'm also a firm believer that the prices I obtain are firm for a period, so you can budget. The minimum period would be 1 year, but sometimes I go for 2 or 3. And then your accountant, or when you're doing your books, you'll know that that commodity item will not be going up for the next 1 year or 2 years. Um, so if it does go up, you still get the same price. So
Brilliant.
that's why I'm unique. I will birth to grave with you, that I will be there at the end of the phone if you've got any problems.
Brilliant. And that's massive. That's massive for any organization because if you're on this, never ending ring, 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 and it's not, being answered or it's being
Yeah,
answered in
yeah,
with somebody who doesn't get it, it's and
yeah,
and having done purchasing for the last 40 years and understand it, you know, all the ins and outs and the legal issues as well. It's mind blowing, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's just a minefield that people go, I'll sign up. You don't know what you're signing for. I've known it over the 40 years where I think there was one contract they signed for 15 years for a clocking machine and they couldn't get out of it.
Oh,
They went to court and they lost it. I did work for a big firm then and they said, we can't get out of it. They put it through the legal system and they lost. So
wow, that is scary.
a
15
lot of money.
years.
Yes.
Wow. So, what do you do right now that helps the hospitality industry or is relevant to the industry or the future of the hospitality industry? Because we do have in the hospitality industry different purchasing options, but what do you do that can help and support our industry?
As I said, I would aim to pool all your clients together. So anybody spending, say, PPE stuff, £50 a year will be put into the same pot as somebody spending £5,000 a year. When you go to a supplier and you say, I've got £50, they don't want to know you. If you say, I've got £10,000 turnover, and you go, oh, I'll give you a better price. And again, firm prices for a period. I give a complete service. As I say, franchise people don't. Some of the big firms don't do either. I'm here to assist your clients in saving money and hand on heart, all through my 40 years, the companies I've worked for, blue chip companies, I've saved them money year in and year out, and I'm talking about millions of pounds.
Wow. Wow. And it's a personal service that does it, isn't
Oh,
it?
it is.
Which
Yeah.
is what we love in hospitality. We love personal service. That's what we're all about, being
Yes.
hospitable from start to end, which is what
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Now, I always ask all my amazing interviewees on our showcase Sunday, what are your 5 top tips that if somebody is thinking, oh, I need to get hold of John, but whilst they're waiting to get hold of you, what are your 5 top tips that you can offer today, please?
Um, First one is don't sign any agreements until I've seen them, because it is a minefield. I've got experience of it where senior people have signed contracts and then regretted it. If you're looking at costs, do the 80-20 rule, Pareto rule, it's called. That 80% of your costs is with 20% suppliers. So the best thing to do is look at your purchase ledger and put it on an Excel spreadsheet, and it should have the suppliers with the top turnover at the bottom right down to it. Put against it what's in place at the moment. Is there a contract in place, or is it contracts that need to be renewed? Some contracts you sign and it says, please look at it, that if you do not notify them 90 days before the contract ends, it rolls over at their prices and you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
So their contracts I do not sign. I would advise the clients not to sign any contracts until I see if I'm given the chance to have a look at them. Yeah, it goes on to another 12 months if you don't, and then you've got to wait another 12 months, etc. I will always look at extending the payment terms. Some suppliers look for 7 days payment. I always go for 30 days from the month end, if not longer. And we'll go for firm prices. Just question everything you buy and say, is that your best price? They can only say no.
It's a really good point because we always tend to in business we try to do that, but in all essence, we don't always consistently do that, and that's so important. The
Yeah.
other thing when you mentioned then about the time scales, I do find it so important to put it in your diary way before the time because
Yes.
you know, there's you to give yourself enough time to come to people like yourself, John, and discuss rather than get captured in that extra 12 months where they're paying the normal rack rate as such, which is just not okay.
No, no. And it's legally binding because you've signed it.
Yeah.
And it says in the small print, as we keep saying small print, please notify us 90 days before the anniversary. It
Yeah.
needs to be crossed out that if you are signing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There's also a clause in the terms and conditions called indemnity, where if there's any legal side of it, it'll say you will pay 10 times the value of the contract.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, it's best to say the same as value is the same as the contract. But if you got 10 times of a contract's £10,000, there's £100,000 you could be liable for.
Wow.
So that's the experience I've got of looking at that. I look at payment terms, I look at warranties, I look at guarantees. You can hide behind the Sale of Goods Act, merchantable quality, fit for purpose. So you're talking about capital equipment or equipment for the kitchens, etc. But you do need to be on the ball about it.
Yeah, and do you cover the thing is do you cover all different things like food isn't covered, is it?
No, it isn't. No, but I could negotiate on the client's behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything basically, anything in indirect costs, any operational costs, barring the direct costs.
Yeah, I mean, I could look at gaining prices for equipment for the kitchens, or a leased car or rental car, logistics,
energy,
couriers, anything.
Stationery.
Stationery, yeah, that's a minefield.
Yeah.
Toners for your cartridges and toners, that's another one. Yeah.
I've seen so many where they've got lease agreements and they're paying through the roof for ink, you know, and you just think the printer wasn't that much.
Yeah, the toners are more expensive than the printers.
Yeah.
As I've found, yes.
So have you got any examples where you have worked in the hospitality industry, or I guess any industry that's in business that'll help add value to your clients?
Well, once you've got the foundation of purchasing, it applies to any industry. So I've worked in detergent powder, I've worked on submarines, I've worked in the car dealerships, manufacturing. Long as you've got the foundation of purchasing, you can negotiate anything.
Brilliant. Yeah. And you've got all the contacts anyway,
yes,
to be able to make that a quick transition.
Yeah, I mean, some of the items you look at, like stationery, we call it low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
We could swap it over within 2 months, 1 month, and you get the savings. Some things where you're on a year contract, you can actually renew your electricity and gas 364 days before it ends.
Oh, right.
Not a lot of people, what they do is they leave it till the end, and then you got the 90-day thing you haven't done, and it swaps across.
Yeah.
So you can negotiate electricity. Recently, I went back to my old school and I offered my services. And they said, we've got problems with electricity and gas. I saved them £100,000.
Wow. And that's a school.
That's a school. That's a school at St. Bees where I went. And they were with British Gas, swapping across to another supplier. And they will be swapping across next month. And their savings were £100,000 a year.
Wow. And it's certainly worth having the conversation, because if anyone's sitting on the fence alone on energy, would be definitely worth having a conversation with you, John, because what would you present and previous clients say if anyone was sitting on the fence?
Well, I did 12 weeks at Sinclair Motor Group in Swansea. I taught the purchasing manager, who was a sales manager, to do the job. Within the 12 weeks I was there, I saved 276,000. And I taught her the nitty gritty of purchasing. She's still a purchasing manager, and I've got a glowing reference from the girl saying, "It was brilliant. You taught her. She understood what you said. It was plain and simple. And thank you very much for saving 276,000." And that was only on 2 commodities.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I've got the knowledge to do the ins and outs of which bucket to put forward to get the best deal for your clients.
Yeah. And just to confirm, what areas do you cover as in geographic areas?
I'll cover any area
It's all
in the
across the
UK.
UK, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just wanted to confirm if anybody's asking that question right now, is it just in Cumbria? Is it all over the UK? You do actually work all over the UK.
Yes. Yeah. It's
So,
combining everybody's purchasing spend to get the best deal on that commodity, whether it's PPE, health and safety side, etc. I mean, there's one thing where pat testing, people say, "Oh, it's got to be done every 6 months. It's got to be done every year." No, it doesn't. If the director or owner of the business says anything that moves, I'll do every 12 months. If it doesn't move, like a computer or a photocopy machine, I can do every 5 years. That's fine. You'll save
brilliant.
money that way. Pat test, fixed wire testing, which has got to be done. You can do it all in one year, and it lasts for 5 years, or you can do 20% every year for the next 5 years. Is the same thing. People don't know those sort of things behind how to save money by spreading over the 5 years.
And it is about speaking to experts like yourself. You're very, very well versed in purchasing. You understand the legal terms, you understand the start to the end, like you said earlier,
Yes.
and it's really important. So if anyone wants to get in touch with you, John, how do they get in touch with you? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
My mobile number is 07490850850.
Brilliant. So they can contact you direct, and it's you who picks up the phone, nobody else.
Yeah, and the email address is J_A_Wilkinson 2002@yahoo.co.uk.
Brilliant,
And it's all
brilliant.
lowercase.
Fantastic. We'll put all John's details at the end of our interview here, our Showcase Sunday interview, so that you can get in touch with John and speak direct to him to help save you time, money, and energy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, John, for joining me today on
Okay.
our
Thank you
Showcase
very
Sunday.
much.
It's been really informative, very thought-provoking, and actually shocked me on a few things as well, and certainly worth taking your top tips and seeing how you can work with John and help save you time, energy, and money. Even if you're not out of contract yet or you're way off, it's worth having the conversation.
Yes. I will save you money. Guaranteed.
Oof, a guarantee. We love a guarantee. Thank you very much for joining me, John. Happy
Okay.
Sunday, everybody, and happy
Okay.
weekend. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.